Hey guys, what's up? Been a while since my first video. I wanted to apologize. Basically, work has been absolutely nuts. I've sat down from time to time and tried to draft out basic ideas of what I wanted to say in this video, but I never really, got to the point where I had it comprehensively done. I'd leave it and come back. So basically, it ties in well with my topic today, which is motivation. My first video, I kind of laid out an argument as to why you should and must incorporate a fitness routine into your life in order to be happier, be healthier, and basically live the most robust life you can. That being said, I've had some people reach out and say, hey, yeah, do more videos. Like, tell me more about it. How do I get started? What do I do? And I thought something everyone's going to encounter when they basically start a life of fitness is going to be issues with motivation. Also what I had issues with this video. I definitely had time to do it. I could find time somewhere, cut out working out myself, cut out spending time, drinking beer, doing things I like enjoying. And basically it came down to a lack of motivation. So good motivation. I can speak well to this because I deal with it a lot. So basically, what is motivation, right? How come some people look like they can go crazy and they can run 6 miles a day, every day, kill it in the job, never have an off day, and just, type A, push. And then there's someone, who just really can't get off the couch. They can't find it in themselves to go to the gym for a half an hour. They can't take a walk after dinner with the dogs. And what is that? Obviously their bodies are basically the same. It's a mentality issue, right? And maybe you find yourself like I am, or like I find myself rather, in between. Sometimes I feel very motivated, other times I couldn't be less motivated. And I always feel like I'm always moving up or down. Rarely am I like super motivated or super unmotivated. It's always super motivated, killing it, and then I try to fight to bring it back up. It's never a maintained awesome thing. Which leads me to one of my main points, which is like anything in life, like all endeavors in life, there are periods that go up and down. Your belief in something goes up or down. Your commitment to love or relationship to others goes up and down. But you can affect it, and that's the good news. With deliberate effort, with education, basically realizing that it takes effort and affirmation to continue believing or living a way that you originally decided you wanted to. And that's okay. So that's basically what we're here to talk about, how it can be improved and get it on lock. So basically I want to share a few of the takeaways I've had in my life as a trainer, and my life as a previous fat kid who's trying to maintain not being a fat kid. So I can, kind of share hacks, share kind of the mindsets that I went through and how I've found ways to go about it and kind of beat that. So that breaks it down into basically 5 main categories. So first, one of the most important things is to have goals that you can write down. In addition to that, a timeline. So goals, timeline, and then mini goals as part of a path to your ultimate goal called milestones, and why those are absolutely essential for you to not only make progress, but to keep the motivation up. Second one is kind of makes sense. It's enjoyment. You've got to find a way to enjoy this. If you're going to be suffering every day doing something you hate to do, yeah, you might begrudgingly do it for a while, but if it's not forced, you don't have a gun to your head to do it, chances are you're going to stop doing it. So how can we take workouts and make it more fun, something you look forward to? Number 3 is habits. Habits are amazing things to even think about conceptually. How many of them we're involved in without even thinking about it, both good and bad, and what the ramifications those have towards your life and accomplishing what you want to do in general, but specifically towards fitness here. So going from that, we have results. A good goal to have short term is basically do everything you can to make your body start changing. Once you see the changes come in, you're going to be unstoppable. You're going to be insanely motivated. You're going to want to, quit everything and just work out all day long, which, I've been there, right? So what can you do, and how can you be patient with yourself to achieve the initial changes in your body that are going to basically fuel your motivation to just fly through? And then last but not least, I guess it's kind of a loose topic, but it's kind of regarding like education, like being able to confidently speak about a subject, answer any questions you have that are preventing you from doing it, like, how do I do this? Is it okay to do this? Do I need to buy this? Things like this. So education's key in keeping your motivation up for pursuing a life centered around fitness. So on to the first topic, goals. Simply put, it's really hard to get anything done in a measurable way, or at least an efficient way, without goals. You got to have a motivation for doing what you're doing. Why do I want to do this? Is it for family? Is it for friends? Is it for my sex appeal? Is it for my health? Is it to lose weight, to get big, for sports? Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. But you need to spend some time thinking about that, writing it down, and visualize it. What do I want to do? What's my goal? Do I want to, run a 10K? Maybe do I want to run a 5K? Do I want to compete in a bodybuilding competition? Do I want to compete in a fitness competition? Low body fat, whatever it is. Think about it, put it down, and use that as a benchmark going forward. In addition to that, you need to have a timeline. A goal is just there's some quote that's basically, a goal is just an idea until you put a timeline down on it. A timeline allows you to benchmark. Like, if this is the trend you should be on, maybe some days you're above it, you're doing really good, other times you fall below, but you're not going to be able to really have any, data you can leverage until you have a timeline to base where you should be against where you actually are. And going along with the timeline is milestones. So if you want to run a 10K, which is like 6.2 mile run, maybe your first few milestones is like, hey, I want to do a solid mile without stopping, a 12-minute mile, I want to get that unlocked. And then maybe your second milestone will be, I want to do 2 miles nonstop, and so on and so forth. So not only is this necessary to kind of give you small little crumbs to get excited about your goal, but it allows you to, again, check with more proximate data. Am I doing well or am I not? And if you're doing well, awesome. Let it encourage you. If you're not, oh shit, I'm behind. I need to be more serious on myself and be accountable to do this. And just another thing about goals, tell people about it. Tell your loved ones, tell your friends. Stay away from detractors who would kind of pull you down, but have people know your goals and ask them to keep you accountable. I'd really like to do this. Check in with me once a week. Ask about that. And don't let me up. Don't let me slide. Reiterate to me how much I really wanted to do it, and why I told you to do it in the first place. So don't be afraid to get a nice counsel around you. Tell them about what your goals are and ambitions, and good friends will take care of you and keep you in line. Second thing, pretty straightforward, make it enjoyable. Find something that makes you love it, or at least not hate it, right? So working out, with time, will be its own fun. I promise you. The more capable you'll feel about running or lifting or whatever it is, the more you'll want to do it. You'll want to dance better or play better in sports. And the high mentally and physically that goes on with it, it's something that you'll just naturally be attracted to and get addicted to, in a sense. That being said, until you get to that point, we gotta do something to keep you going, right? What makes it fun for you? So, working out is a diverse thing, right? You can do yoga, you can swim, you can bike, you can wrestle, you could box, you could just lift weights, you could work out at home, you could do yoga, online classes, all kinds of things. I had a friend that basically, he wouldn't work out unless he was in a group environment. He just couldn't force himself to. So he's a guy my age, good-looking guy, and he's just doing all these aerobic classes with women just because he found that's where he felt most comfortable, and that's what allowed him to get involved and have fun. It was a social thing. So find what works for you. For me, I really love music. I have podcasts of trance music that I wait for my workouts to listen to. Put them on, engage, crank it out. Conversely, on my slower days, longer workouts, running 8 miles or something on a treadmill, it's kind of boring and tedious. So maybe I'll put on a podcast so I can learn about something, or maybe even I study Chinese as well, so maybe a period drama so I can practice my Chinese. So those are 2 ways I kind of look forward to doing it, even if it's begrudgingly done. It's not fun to do. You can find ways to make it useful and proactive and keep me going back. The third thing is habits. This is absolutely essential. Once you build a habit, you'll be unstoppable in terms of motivation. More than half the work is done at that point because you're used to it. You have to do it every day. If you don't do it, you're going to feel just straight crazy and lazy and bad. So they have a saying, it's habits are the worst of masters, meaning you're the slave of it. You smoking, you're drinking, your outlook on life, being lazy, whatever it is. We all have known and unknown habits in our lives. Conversely, habits are also the best of slaves. If you get them under you, you deliberately put in place positive habits, you're going to find it grows exponentially, and it's an amazing investment. So that's a whole other different, basically, topic that we could talk about, how you can incorporate and chase positive habits to put in your life to bear fruit over time. But basically, it takes, I think scientists say generally 25 to 30 times of planned activity before it gets ingrained as expected, normal, and strange if it's missing. So that being said, your goal is really to do whatever it has to do, whatever you have to do to get those first 25 to 30 times locked down. If that's, having your husband or wife wake you up every morning and say, hey, you need to go, for 20 minutes, take the dog out for a walk. You said you were going to do this. Don't bitch out and be non-committal. You need to do this for everyone. You promised it, go do it. So you got to do whatever it takes and whatever it requires from you to get into that point and make it happen. And another one of the main key principles that's really going to lock in your motivation, like habits, is obviously results, right? This is as big, if not bigger, than developing a habit to push you into staying motivated. Everyone knows the people on New Year's at the gym, right? I worked at a gym, I worked out at a gym, and there would be like 7 times the membership that came, the first few weeks, and it's annoying because we know they're not going to last. They probably know they're not going to last, but they don't tell themselves this. But sure enough, after 4 weeks, they're gone. They make it through January, they slip in, they disappear, and then they're too ashamed to come back. Basically, why is this? Obviously, they had motivation initially, right? They had New Year's, they had a goal, they were excited, they were emotionally charged, they bought new outfits, they're ready to rock. And basically, they fell off. And 9 times out of 10, it was because there were no results. And that's actually, a lot of it's subjective and the science is not super clear and everyone's different. But basically, running twice and watching what you ate for 2 days is not going to change you into a ripped 6-pack specimen of a person. That's obvious, right? But sometimes it's not so obvious to our conscious when we're trying to think it through. It's just like, oh, this doesn't work. My body can't do this. Oh, your body can do this. It can absolutely do that just like anyone else. But it requires like motivation, like we're saying, commitment, and a willingness to basically fight the good fight in order to get that which you want. So basically, you need to stick with whatever you're doing for roughly 8 weeks. You're going to have different scientists, different people argue, trainers believe different things. For me in my life, for me and my clients, what I've seen works for me and others is basically 8 weeks of a life change. So 2 months of consistently watching what you eat, consistently drinking lots of water, eating clean foods, doing lots of cardiovascular exercise, stretching, and resistance training. At that point, you should, barring some crazy disease or thyroid issue, start to see drastic changes in your appearance and weight. And basically, a lot of people get caught up on poundage. I think that's silly and the last thing you should really look at, because you eat and drink and use the bathroom, and all of those things can make your weight shift a crazy amount, as much as 6 or 7 pounds a day. So that's really not a good proxy for determining whether or not you made progress. However, the best proxy I found is actually how things fit. So a watch, you know exactly where you'd put the buckle normally, and maybe you'll realize it's spinning around your wrist, just by itself. The circumference of your wrist is going down. Body fat is systematic. It's not, I have 5% body fat in my belly. No, there's stuff here, you got stuff here, you got it everywhere all over your body. So when you lose 2% of body fat, it goes down everywhere. Your face looks more tight, your arms look more toned, your belly shrinks down. So the best proxy for progress is actually like, how's that notch on your belt? Is that the same notch you were using? Does it feel a little bit looser than it used to? And then go from there. So I will talk more about, I guess you could say, how we can achieve the various goals in other subsequent videos. But for now, basically just know that it takes 8 weeks roughly until you're going to start to see major changes. And at that point, again, you're going to be off to the races. So hang in there, reach out to your friends, stay accountable, and push towards it. The 5th goal, I'd say, is eliminating excuses. If you got to this point where you're like, yeah, I want to incorporate fitness into my life. Yeah, I want to stay motivated. Okay, you're emotionally charged, good. Now the work begins. Quit making excuses. Oftentimes, even to myself, to everyone, we all do it. We say, oh, I couldn't do it, I'm working late. Okay, well, get up early in the morning. Oh, but I need sleep. Well, why didn't you get sleep? Oh, well, I stayed up late, watching a movie and having beer. Okay, well, eliminate that. Oh, I don't really like it. I like that. Okay, well, then you're saying you like beer and watching movies more than you want to work out. That's okay. Just don't lie to yourself. Accept that and move forward. That you don't want to make this change in your life. Otherwise, be honest with yourself. Be your best advocate and fight yourself. No, I'm obviously not making good choices and communicating I don't want to do this. So what can you do to communicate to yourself that you do want to do this? For instance, even me, I've been working really late. I haven't been working out after I haven't been working out after work. I just come home at 11 or 12. So then I quit working out in the morning just because I was too tired. Or rather, I didn't start working out in the morning because I was too tired. So I had to be honest with myself and be like, well, this is not sustainable, right? Like, I'm not going to get the goals I want. I need to make changes. So, you know, it's really sucked, but I started putting myself in my room at 9 p.m., having a yoga mat and just sitting there and stretching or praying or reading, drinking tea, just basically eliminating that excuse I had, and then I'm in bed asleep by 10, so I can wake up by 5:30 and get a nice workout in. So little things like that, you just got to be honest with yourself. And last but not least, just want to touch base, another major excuse people have is actually, I don't know what to do. And I really think that's a poor excuse, because with the availability of mainstream workout stuff you can find online, there's really no excuse for that. You can be a yoga master in 2 months. You can read everything. You want to learn all about various bodybuilding routines. Oh, it's publicly available. It's really easy. You want to learn about how you can do calisthenics in your home, how you can do yoga, how you can train to be a wrestler. They're all there for you. In other videos, I'll talk about basic types of workouts, whether it be cardiovascular for, you know, weight loss, performance, strength training, flexibility, and how you can incorporate this in your life. So read up online, you know, watch videos, go on YouTube, talk to your friends. There's lots of information out there. There's no right way to work out. So all the information's there. Nothing is right or wrong. Pick something and go for it. It's not like one curl is going to make my arm bigger than another type of curl. It doesn't work out that way. You know, 90% of it is intensity of your working out, consistency, and eating right. That's really about it. So in closing, thank you guys very much for your time yet again on the second video. I look forward to sharing more insights and discussions with you going forward. Please subscribe if you liked the video, and watch my others in the series, and I will look forward to discussing with you soon. Thanks, guys. Take care.